Magna Story Sound presents an unabridged recording of A Wing and a Prayer, written by M.W. Arnold, read by Emma Powell. The moral right of the author has been asserted. This performance is owned by Magna. Prologue, January 1942. The frost was hard upon the airfield as the ground crew watched the Tiger Moth pull up sharply to avoid a spinney of oak trees. It was a near-run thing, and if the pilot hadn't gunned the engine to hop over at the last second, the biplane would have ploughed into the treetops. Nonetheless, they could plainly see branches torn off by the near miss, caught up in the tail skid as the biplane rocked from side to side, the engine now coughing as the pilot struggled to maintain control. Leaning forward on their bikes, their anxiety only grew as they could see the pilot's head lolling back and forth. From where they were, they had the best view of the approach, and they all held their breath as the biplane's wheels touched down with considerable force, bouncing the aircraft 10 feet back into the air. The port wing dipped alarmingly towards the grass airfield, the pilot correcting only just in time. With the engine pitch whining, the pilot pushed the control stick forward and the wheels hit the ground, bounced once, twice, before reluctantly settling on the runway, the tail skid leaving behind the branches it had collected. As it was the last aircraft due to land that day, which was fortunate as the frost had formed early that evening, the ground crew was keen to pull her back to the flight line. If luck was on their side and there were no problems, they'd be in the pub by 4:30. Any later and the Friday crowd would have drunk the best beer. Wartime shortages were nothing new, but the hard-working engineers resented missing out on the fresh barrels old Bert always managed to get in on a Friday afternoon. Spurred into action by the erratic landing, the sergeant pulled out his binoculars and put them to his eyes. What he saw pushed him into more frenzied action, jumping on his bike and yelling for someone to get the doctor now. He pedalled furiously toward where the diminutive biplane had eventually rolled to a halt, coming to rest in the drainage ditch along the end of the grass runway. The ditch had claimed many an unwary pilot. From a haven of peace in war-torn southern England, all now became semi-organized chaos as men sprang to help. One jumped onto the running board of a waiting ambulance, startling a gently dozing driver and prodding him to drive over to the idling biplane. Everyone else followed their sergeant as quickly as they could. Whoever the pilot was, he or she was in severe trouble. The pilot's flailing arm reached for and failed to make contact with the ignition before flopping down.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?